I have said that I have tremendous appreciation for the New York Mets. It's the 50th anniversary of one of the greatest teams in baseball history, and I was a tender young 8-year-old at the time, but anyone who loved baseball loved the 1969 New York Mets, and I mean, it was amazing to watch. So we're going to celebrate them this year, and I wish this year's team a lot of luck. I root for the Boston Red Sox. I always have. I always will. But I feel very good about the New York Mets, and I always say there is no conflict between our peoples.
Unbelievable, this idiotic mayor of our city. Now, I'm a Met fan, so I was thrilled to see him in an empty parking lot at Citi Field yesterday, but he's such an effing coward, he wouldn't go anywhere near Yankee Stadium. During that same interview, they asked him, "Hey, Mayor, there's 50,000 Yankee fans in the Bronx today. You're the mayor of New York City. What are you doing?" He's like, "They don't want me there, and I want to be there." But I love the Mets. And I love the Red Sox and Bill de Blasio for one reason, and that is that in '86, Bill Buckner and the Red Sox did, in fact, gift wrap that World Series win for us. But, man, is it just you got a Yankee game going on in the Bronx, and he's in an empty parking lot in Queens. But the Mets did start the season in terrific fashion yesterday. Jacob deGrom, Robbie Cano, Edwin Diaz, all heroes. An opening day win. They've now won, by the way, 38 of their last 50 opening days. And I really enjoy SNY. You know, Gary and Apple and I are very good friends. I like Todd Zeal. I think he's good, not great. I like Duquette. I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to embarrass my next guest. I think Nelson Figueroa is the best on the crew. I love him. Spent 9 years in the majors, 2 years with the Mets in 08 and 09, I should say, as a pitcher. And he's been doing it for years. I think he's a great baseball analyst. And here he is, joining the Bernie and Sid show, my friend Nelson Figueroa. Good morning, Nelson.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going good. First of all, I have a message from Rob Casatelli. I am making an appearance tonight for the March Madness, Nelson, at the Kettle Black on Staten Island.
Yes.
Is that your place?
Oh, yeah. Love that place.
You do love it there.
Indeed.
All right, good. And then Gary Perrone, of course, from the Brooklyn Cyclones. He loves you, too. So
good man.
Well, you're a good man. Everybody loves you. And I did mean what I just said. You are particularly great at the baseball analyst job you do on SNY.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, let's get to the what we saw yesterday, Nelson. DeGrom gets $138 million 2 days ago, has one of the real historic great seasons in baseball. And people were asking the question yesterday, how can he outdo what he did last year? And it took him one start, basically.
Basically, each and every time out there. Now it's no longer can DeGrom outpitch the guy he's pitching against. It's can the other guy keep up with DeGrom. Honestly, and you look at yesterday's matchup, Max Scherzer, a two-time Cy Young Award winner in recent years, and you think, okay, this is the game that breaks him. No, not at all. Scherzer started out striking out the first 6 out of 9. Looked like it was going to be tough to keep up pace. DeGrom wasn't as sharp as he normally could be, but that's the beauty of DeGrom. He doesn't have to be perfect to be the best in baseball. He gets better as the game goes along. He finds his other pitches as the game goes along. And by the end of the game, he struck out his last 6 out of 9. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and he was incredible.
He was. 10 strikeouts, got a big double play ground ball, I believe, in the third inning when the Nats were fighting to tie the game. So you remember when we made the trade with the Mariners, and I kept having, and you said this yesterday, you were the only one, God, I love you. It was the Edwin Diaz trade, okay? We wanted the best closer in baseball. We got him, 24 years old. The truth is we could only get Diaz if we took Cano. They wanted to unload Cano. But, of course, Brody knew that Cano had a couple of really good years left, so he was all too happy to do it. But Met fans were still bitching about the trade because of Cano, 36 years old, fresh off a suspension. They just didn't get it. And, by the way, if they were bitching about Robbie Cano, how'd that go yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. What's funny is that everybody wants to turn around and look on the other side of New York and say the baby bombers, and why can't we be like that? Why can't we get younger? The fact is we got better twofold by getting Robbie Cano. You remember also Diaz is the crown jewel of the trade, without a doubt. 24 years old, under control for the next 4 years. Not even hitting arbitration as of yet. That's something that's so prized. That's $15 to $16 million a year on the open market, the way this guy can pitch. Now you turn it around and flip it to Robbie Cano, and yes, think about the first 2 years of production that he can give you. He still swings the bat as he did as a rookie. Sweet, smooth swing, puts the ball in play. We saw yesterday the lefty throws him a sinker inside, and he's able to inside out and flip it over the shortstop's head and get the second run in. 2 RBIs in his first game. The middle of the lineup production was non-existent, and yet you still didn't even really care because all you needed was one run. With DeGrom pitching, Robbie Cano driving in the runs, it seemed to work out picture perfect for Brody.
Are you a little concerned, though, about offense throughout the season? I know Lowry's on the list right now. Frazier is on the list. You started a rookie at first base, Alonso. He had to be nervous making his first start. And the $100 million man outside of DeGrom, Cespedes, may not play at all this year. So are you a little concerned about the firepower for this team as the season moves along?
Well, remember, they faced Max Scherzer yesterday. Max Scherzer has a pretty good game plan against the Mets. He always has.
Well, he did shut them down outside of Cano.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. No, and that's the beauty. What Scherzer can do, he can shut down a lineup. What Scherzer also does is he gives up a lot of home runs. He makes that one mistake over the middle of the plate, and you get a guy like Robbie Cano, that's the game changer. He's able to hit that ball off the ballpark. Do I expect that to happen every time? No. Do I expect the rest of the lineup to get shut down? No. Conforto got some questionable called strike threes on very borderline pitches.
Yeah.
To me, Alonso was a little nervous. Not a little nervous, a lot nervous.
Sure.
When you go out there and you're facing Max Scherzer and you're geeked up, and this is the same ballpark that you broke StatCast at and hit a 480-foot home run that went 46 degrees up in the air, that kind of thing gets in your head. So he wanted to make a big splash, and Scherzer gave him all the respect in the world, started him off with a breaking ball. He swung and missed through it, and then the next 3-2, he throws him another nasty slider, so nasty that he went back into the dugout, said some choice words about himself because he actually struck out his very first Major League at bat, not the way he drew it up, and then he said, that was nasty. And it was. So you have to be able to, move on from that, learn from those experiences, and know that Scherzer will challenge him with that breaking ball next time early on in the count and be ready for it. So for the rest of the lineup, wasn't a pretty day at all, but I do think, Dominic Smith came in. We talked about him making the team alongside of Alonso. He was able to have a nice at-bat, long at-bat, gets on base, and actually scores from second base on Robbie Cano's hit, so that can't be overlooked. So the team has more depth. The lineup will have more punch at times, but I do think that it wasn't the best day for the offense in general, but a great day for Robbie Cano.
They got to face Strasburg tomorrow. Syndergaard on the mound for the Mets. The Mets enjoying a day off today. One more for you. Nelson Figueroa does a great job on SNY, and you're great here this morning, Nell. The Yankees, they get all the home runs they want. 267 last year, 2 more yesterday. But where their strength lies is, even without Betances, Ottavino into Britton, into Chapman. That is very tough. And we saw that with the Mets. DeGrom goes 6. Lugo, you bring back Familia to pitch the 8th. Now you got Diaz to pitch the 9th. So as much as we talk about the Mets starting pitching, they got 3 or 4 guys with Gsellman in the bullpen. They can shut you down.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think last year they learned a lot about Lugo and Gsellman in the bullpen. Could they make the jump to be full-time relievers? And I think you found in a big way they are weapons that you can use in a multitude of ways. 2-3 innings, if need be, on long days, 1 inning matchups. You got Lugo, who's actually one of the best. I think he's top 5 in getting out lefties over the last 2 years. When you look at Gsellman, he's got nasty stuff, sinker, slider combination, and even has the ability to now wrinkle in a breaking ball there just in case he has to go multiple innings. Bringing back Familia on basically a team-friendly deal of only $10 million. He's only 29 years old at the time. All the other relievers with 33, 34 plus. I think it's an underrated move. Familia can handle the pressure of New York. 94 saves in 2 years before his last season. I do think that he is a terrific bridge to have going into Diaz. And at the same time, we know Diaz is a rubber arm, but don't want to burn him out. 3, 4, 5 days in a row. You got the ability to go right to Familia there. So I don't need Diaz to give me 60 saves this year. I'd be perfectly happy with Diaz having 40 saves and Familia having 20 saves where you have 60 saves combined.
That's a great point. Now, Nelson, I really enjoy your work. You're terrific. Enjoy your day off. Have some more fun this weekend. Strasburg and Syndergaard tomorrow. We'll all be watching. Nelson Figueroa, you're terrific. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, my man. Nelson Figueroa, New York Mets, SNY. Taking a short break. Still lots more to do. Bernie and Sid on a Getaway Friday.